As always, we need to do a sound check. So make sure you guys can hear me. I think I got myself unmuted. Everything looks good on my side, so let's make sure. Echo. You got echo, huh? All right. Let's try this. Do we have echo now? Yeah. Sorry about that. Okie dokie, so let's give people a little bit of a chance to hop in. No, I don't normally wear glasses, even though I do have glasses. I actually need glasses for distance. I wear glasses sometimes to drive and like to see distance. I kind of need it. But these are actually like gunners. They're not gunners, but they're like gunners, and they block blue light. So these bright LEDs in front of me do not feel quite as intense when I'm wearing these glasses. So that is the reason I have them on. These are intended to be used for gaming, but I don't really need them anymore because the monitors that I have a setting on them where you can have the blue light turned down. So I don't really need glasses like this normally. And just, excuse me, I'm fixing my monitor, trying to. It's close enough. Actually, I don't need these right now. Okay, that's good. All right, so how's everybody doing? Happy March 10th. This week we have St. Paddy's Day coming up. Which is funny. It's a funny holiday for me because my last name, if you don't know, is Duffy, and my first name is Sean, and it's a very Irish-sounding name. And the funny thing is like I can't tell you last time that I actually drank alcohol on St. Paddy's Day. I'm not really sure. 10 years, 15 years, I don't know. I just, for some reason, and some people they go crazy on St. Paddy's Day, man. They get obliterated, and yeah, I've just never felt the need. It's kind of strange. I'm lucky if I remember to wear green. Cindy, Aunt Cecilia's here. Tea time with Auntie Cecilia. That is Cindy's aunt. I don't know if you could hear that, but Cindy said hi. She lives up in it's Michigan, right, Cindy?
No, Illinois.
Illinois. Peoria, yeah. Okay. So as you can see, we're once again doing the chroma key effect. Looks pretty good. The only time you can really see, you can notice it is like if the background screen is white, and then you can kind of see like a fuzzy distortion of the screen. But otherwise, I think the effect is pretty good. Okay. So one of the things that was brought to me last show was how some people have issues finding my channel on YouTube, which I never really knew, and I never thought about it. But if you would just type in Duff Aesthetics into the YouTube search field, what happens, and I talked about this the last show, what happens is it auto-corrects you and assumes that you're looking for calisthenics. So it presents a whole page of calisthenics, and then up top, right underneath the search bar, there's a little single line that says, oh, did you really want to search for Duff Aesthetics? Okay, well then click here, and then it actually takes you to the page. So that's kind of dumb, and I could see how that could be problematic for someone that isn't really looking at the screen that closely, because it's easy to miss. So I actually went in and I changed my my page name to Duff. The URL is actually Duff67, not Duff. Duff67 is actually my my handle on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Twitch. So it's for consistency's sake, it's Duff67. There's actually someone else that already has the Duff URL on YouTube, some Asian guy, I think. So, but anyways, you can just search Duff now, and it should be a lot easier for me to or for you to find me. Let me just do it right now. Yeah, the first thing that comes up is Duff, some Asian guy with 1,500 subscribers. But then you can find my page. You can find my page a couple listings down, so it's a lot easier to find now. So, thank you for. I don't remember who pointed that out to me, but I appreciate it. I think it'll work out all around better now. Okay. So far we got Clay and Auntie Cecilia in chat. Feel free to chime in there. If I don't see anything specific in chat, I'm going to just start working on my my show notes, because I do have a pretty good list of show notes. If you saw my video on Friday, I did my annual commute to work. That's something that I've done 3 times so far for the last 3 years. The first time I did it on my M Super V3 820 watt hour wheel, and that one was a little scary because on the way there I had a lot of headwind, and I barely made it to the office. By the time I got there, I was going like 7 miles an hour, and it was beeping constantly and tilting back. I just barely made it. On the way home that time, I actually had more of a tailwind, so I didn't have as much of a problem going home. Another problem was I went too fast. Like on my way there, I didn't really put much correlation to speed versus range. Something that I've come to learn repeatedly. But on the way home, I had a tailwind, and I went slower, So I was okay. Then last year, I did it on the Monster, which has a 1,600 watt hour battery, and that was no problem. That was plenty of juice to spare, so I could go as fast as I wanted there and back. That was a pretty good ride. I had the seat on the Monster, so it allowed me to deal with it's almost a 50-mile commute for the day. It was actually 50 miles the first 2 years, because I actually took the EUCs to the gym at lunch. This year, I took the Ultron T11, and I did not go to the gym at lunch, so that's why it was only 48 miles instead of 50 this time. But again, I was using the logic that I needed to go slower in order to get the range to get to the office, and that plan worked out a lot better. I probably averaged about 20 miles an hour, and I got there with 2 bars remaining, and I got back with between 1 and 2 bars remaining. I didn't even have a full charge when I left the office, so yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting ride. And I'll probably talk about that more later. But the reason I brought that up was one of the things I mentioned on that video was how earlier last week there was somebody locally that was killed, a bike rider. He was an older guy. I think he was in his 70s, but he was killed on Golden Gate Parkway, which is only 4 or 5 miles away from where I live. He was in the bike lane. I think it was at like 9 in the morning. And someone veered into the bike lane, and I bet my money that they were on their phone, screwing on their phone, and they hit him, and the guy died. So that was something that was definitely on my mind, especially when you're doing the commute, because there's so much traffic. You're in the heart of rush hour traffic. So I was really trying to pay attention, and I found myself checking my rear view mirror quite a bit to get an idea of if anyone was kind of dangerously close. So luckily everything was fine. But you just hear so much of that. I was telling Cindy, there's a mutual friend of ours that was riding her bike today. Did I say that was just today, Cindy?
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday or today. I think yesterday, actually. She was riding, and she got hit, and she broke her ankle. And she was in the bike lane. This vehicle was in the main lane, and this vehicle made a right turn and hit her. And the way she described this vehicle and her were kind of, it wasn't like there was a way that he couldn't have seen her. He just kind of cut and disregarded her and hit her, and she's banged up really bad. So I mean, and it's funny. Cindy and I just had an example today when we were leaving Home Depot. I mean, there's just so many elderly drivers down here that just do not pay attention. Their reaction time is terrible. They cannot judge speed and distance, and some of them are a real menace. I mean, they can't turn their head to look at blind spots, and you have to really be a defensive driver. Assume they're going to do something stupid. Okay, here we go. Oh, Brett's here. Hey, Brett. I guess I do have blue blockers on, but like I mentioned earlier, it's actually for the LED lights that are illuminating me. It makes them less severe. It doesn't hurt as much. Oh, hey, Marty. You had to wait for a one-wheel commercial to stop playing? Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. So it showed. That's interesting that it showed a one-wheel commercial based on maybe the title of the video that's playing. I don't know. That's weird. Hey, Marty, I wanted to mention, I saw that you actually did break your shoulder on that Tesla fall. I didn't realize that you went to the doctor and they actually said that you had a broken shoulder. That's I'm glad you finally got it looked at, but man, that's bad news. And you said you're doing rehab now, so I hope you heal up. Good reason to keep wearing that body armor. So Clay says, in regards to the riding, I ride on the sidewalk. Yeah. Now, I think technically there's, depending on who you're dealing with, they don't like motorized vehicles on the sidewalk, generally speaking. I've never had a problem with it, but if push came to shove, they could probably make you get off the sidewalk. And I agree, it is safer. If you saw that ride, that commute, probably the last 7-8 miles of it, I was on sidewalk. And I'll tell you, riding a scooter on sidewalk is not fun at all. It was not fun because you control the speed of the scooter with your trigger finger. You're squeezing the trigger, and as you're going over the bumps, it bumps your finger. So then you're getting off the throttle. You're jabbing it inadvertently, and then you're holding onto the handles as it's jerking you around. It's not a good time. Like I mentioned in the video, it's a lot easier to do that kind of sidewalk riding on a one wheel and EUC, way better. So yeah, I don't think I'll be taking the scooter for that commute again. I just wanted to say that I did it, and now that I did it, I don't need to do that again. So Marty, you begin rehab this week. So Marty, did they say like it's possible that you did more damage or you affected the healing negatively because you waited to go? I'm curious, because if it started to try to heal, and it wasn't set correctly, because you said your humerus broke.
What?
Yeah, remember his fall?
I didn't know he broke his humerus.
Well, no, I guess he was still having problems, and he went to the doctor and said that he actually did break it. And the humerus is this bone, I think, here. It's your upper arm bone, so it sounds like you broke it right there or something. That's that's bad. That's a bad time. Bad time. So Clay, you always are riding on the sidewalk. You never do the bike lane on your one wheel.
Smart kid.
What's that?
Smart kid.
Smart kid, yeah. Brett says Hallandale. Oh wow. Frito knows best. He just did a $2 super chat. Holy crap! I've never had a super chat before. Thanks, Fredo.
What is that?
Wow. It's when someone.
Oh, the guy that doing it?
It's like a tip almost. It's like a tip, and then what happens is their comment stands out. Awesome, Fredo. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So Brett says Hallandale has the worst drivers in America. Okay, well, come to Naples.
Right over there?
We can have a contest to see who has worst drivers. What's that?
He's in Hollandale?
I don't know. Where's Hallandale?
Fort Lauderdale? Right over there.
Brett, is Hallandale near Fort Lauderdale? I don't know. I've never heard of Hallandale.
Yeah. I know Hollandale. In Florida.
Yeah.
Is it Hollandale, Florida?
I don't know. I'm asking him. So Marty says that the sidewalks in Southern California are 95% empty. Yeah. Well, that's and I would say for the most part they are here, depending on where you go. But like when I was getting close to my office, it's a very business oriented area, and it's such a pain, man. There's just constantly cars pulling out of businesses, pulling into businesses. You got lots of people that use public transportation down there. They're walking, they're biking. So, and the sidewalks are narrow. They're not in good shape. So it all depends where you're at, I guess. But it is definitely safer on the sidewalk, obviously. But I do not ride sidewalk all that often. Brett says that Marty needs to watch out for the homeless. Yeah, guess you need to do that. So Marty says that in regards to his injury, that there was no long-term damage, that just that the healing was slowed. Well, that's good. So did they have to set it, like break it and set it, or like I'm curious, like if it was broke up here, you can't splint it, or like you in. I guess you're not in a sling, I guess, are you? I'm just curious what they do to set it, because if it was high on the humerus, I'm not really sure what you would do to set that. So Fredo, you just bought an Evolve Carbon GT longboard? Wow, good for you. You spent some money. Do you actually have it yet? I don't know tons about Evolve, other than I know that they're high-end boards. I know they're expensive. I know their off-road boards are pretty cool. But I do not know a ton about them. I believe that those are belt-driven boards, I believe, right? They're not hub motors. I think they're belt-driven like boosteds are, I think. Cliff says, hey Cliff, how you doing, bud? You should give the scooter company some feedback and let them know how much better a twist grip like a motorcycle would be. Cliff, that is an option that some people will, again, not in the United States, but scooters like in Asia and stuff, there's this whole underground scooter modification community, and that is a change that some people do. Is they do you can put a twist throttle grip on a scooter. Doesn't bother me enough that I would do that, but yeah, that is an option. You can do that.
It would work for me.
What's that?
It would be hard on me.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you'd like that either. Marty asked what Super Chat is. Super Chat, like again with a live stream, what happens is someone it's basically a donation, and it can be any amount of money. Like I saw some big live streamers get $100 Super Chat, which is crazy. But it makes the viewers comment bold. It sticks out, and it's remains for a while. Like when it scrolls up, you see it stick up there. So yeah, my first ever Super Chat. All right, let me get up here. Fredo. Yeah, okay, Fredo explained it there. Super Chat is a way for a YouTuber to get paid while going live, going to Creator Studio and switch it on. Yeah, I have it turned on. I never did a Super Chat for somebody, but maybe I will now. Spread the love. I appreciate that. It's cool. All right, Cindy, someone said that Hallandale is below Fort Lauderdale and just above Aventura.
Yeah.
Okay.
Numerous times.
Those of you that don't know, Cindy grew up in the Miami area, so she's very familiar with East Florida.
Yeah, Hollandale's all older people.
Yeah. Cliff says we have a lot of sidewalks and people still walk in the street. Crazy. So I ride on the sidewalks. Yeah. Whatever works. I think the big thing is just making sure that if you are in a situation where you're around a lot of people on a sidewalk, is yield the right of way if at all possible, which I did. Whenever there was someone coming, I slowed way down. A couple times I actually stepped off and just let them pass. Okay, so Brett does not live in Florida, but Hallandale is in Florida. Okay, gotcha. All right, so then, Florida in general has terrible drivers because of the overwhelmingly elderly population, at least in my opinion.
Saying elderly.
What do you mean?
If you insult somebody.
Well, I'm elderly depending on who's watching, so. All right, so Marty's talking about his injury again. It was broken 3 months ago. It's set naturally, so now I'm dealing with the scar tissue, which your rehab is supposed to deal with. Yeah, that's what I would. I guess that's what my concern would be is the scar tissue. I know when I had my knee surgery, I had 2 knee surgeries actually. I had my right knee scoped twice, and that's the thing they always talk about is making sure that you do proper rehab to minimize the scar tissue, because once it starts to accumulate, you can actually have more problems than you originally had, especially with knees, where you can have more pain and swelling if you do not do the right things to keep scar tissue from forming. So Marty says, the doctor says I will have to do with clicking in my shoulder for the rest of my life. Ouch, dude. It must have really been bothering you for you to go eventually. That sucks. That sucks. So Fredo says that he's ridden his Evolve several times already for Uber Eats and Postmates delivery. Really? Uber Eats on a electric skateboard? That's interesting. I guess you have to be very careful with what jobs you accept if you're doing that. Do you actually make good money doing Uber Eats? I saw a video of some guy that he tracked like a 12-hour day, and now he had a car, obviously not a skateboard, but he tracked doing a 12-hour day for Uber Eats in California somewhere, and I think he made like maybe around $100 in fees, but then when he went back and figured out his gas, I think he spent like $28 or $30 in gas, so he made like $60 for the day. So, and it worked out to like less than minimum wage. And I don't know what Postmates is. Have you ever heard of Postmates, Cindy?
Who?
Postmates is some sort of delivery service, I guess.
Never heard of that.
I never heard of it either.
Robinhood and Uber Eats.
Fredo says that his Evolve was $2,000. Woof. That's more than a boosted. Wow. So that's an all-terrain board, I assume? It has to be for that kind of money. With the big oversized pneumatic tires. Marty says, weren't you supposed to talk with Fredo? I'm talking with Fredo. And Fredo and I are buds, man. I don't know that I've ever seen Fredo in... Have you ever been in one of my live streams before, Fredo? I don't recall you being in the chat before. Marty's going out to his workshop to fix 2 flats. One on your ACM2 and your... Yeah, I saw you mention that you were getting an 18XL. Did you buy a new one, Marty? If you're still here, did you buy a new 18XL or did you get like a used one, or what'd you do? Yeah, I might be doing some more stuff to my 18L in the near future, but I'll talk about that later. 2 flats, man, that sounds like fun. I don't know that I've ever seen anyone do I think... Oh, I have seen someone do a flat on KingSong, or tire replacement, or tube replacement. I don't think it was as bad as the Gotway, if I remember correctly. It was less screws and it kind of lifted up, but I'm just trying to think if that was an 18L or if that was another KingSong wheel. I don't quite remember. Not sure. Oh, you bought the one that okay, I was wondering about that. So I thought I remember reading, or you mentioned that somewhere, that was a possibility. Good. Well, that means you got it at a discount. Awesome. I wonder if Jason would be open to doing that more often. You know, sell the demo wheels. That's cool. Well, at least you know the wheel works that way. Sucks you got a flat though. So did you? I assume you didn't get to slime that thing prior to the flat. Okay, so Fredo says that in New York City I can make $2,500 weekly. New York City with a biker board is amazing. I started a job website called gigwiz.org. 25. Well, I mean, I guess cost of living in New York City is astronomical too, but still, that's wow. But I mean, like how many hours do you think you're putting in to make that kind of money? Because $2,500 in New York City is probably the equivalent of $1,200 or $1,300 here, guesstimating. Because I know everything in New York City is very, very expensive. Of course, I guess you could live in one of the, you could live in the Bronx or Queens or something like that, where the cost of living is a little less. But in my visits to New York City, I was kind of flabbergasted with how much stuff costs. Brett says, when the heck are the new MSX pedals coming? Are you talking about like the pedals that they showed on the Nicola, those bigger ones? I assume that they would also fit the MSX. I've not heard an update on it, because those I haven't seen a comparative chart with the dimensions of those new Gotway pedals versus the 18XL pedals. They look pretty darn close with the Gotways. It might be even slightly bigger. I'm not quite sure. So Fredo, you've never been to the live stream before? I appreciate you stopping in. And again, I really appreciate the super chat, man. That's nice. Marty says you couldn't put slime in the XL. There is the same blockage at the valve that is in my MSX tube. Really? So it's a special valve that you can't just take out with a valve tool? I mean, I haven't tried to do it on the KingSong. All right. Yeah, because I was going to slime it. But maybe it's not quite. I figured it was simple, but maybe it's not quite as simple. And I was going to actually slime the tires on the scooters as well. I really need to do that, but I have not done that yet. Skip? No, there's no way. Is that a Beast? You're not here, man. Really? Cindy, I think LA Beast just dropped in my stream.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if he followed me
No.
for doing the cameo. Yeah. He says, have a good day.
What? Did he really? Oh,
That's him.
man.
Skippy62 Abel is LA Beast.
Ah. Seriously? He gives you so much joy with all the crazy things he does.
Yeah, that's
oh,
funny.
that's awesome.
Wow. Thanks, Beast. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys are looking for some entertainment, LA Beast channel. He does a lot of stunts and food stunts and just crazy stuff. He's a good guy. Used to live in LA, and he moved back to Jersey. And yeah, I love LA Beast. All right, so Marty says all the S&L series of KS wheels. That is Beast. He just gave me a super chat too. All right, Beast. Next time I see you live stream, I'm going to give you a super chat. Okay, I appreciate that. Man, that's awesome. You touched Cindy's hearts, or Cindy's heart, Beast. Thanks.
I'm so excited.
That is awesome. All right, so Marty says that all the S&L series of KingSong wheels involve the same tire change process. I'm not filming it. There's enough videos out there. Yeah, from what I saw, Marty, it was like basically you take off a lot less screws than you do with a Gotway, and the whole shell just kind of slides up, right? Yeah, it's almost it's like a suitcase kind of. It seemed better, but I have not done it myself. All right. Oh, Fredo, my goodness. 7 days a week, 12 hours daily of deliveries? That's got to beat you up, man. Don't you get beat up riding the streets of New York City that long on a skateboard? Oh my God. Well, you're earning your money, dude. Hats off to you. That is impressive. That is no joke. My God. You hear that, Cindy?
What?
One guy in the chat, he does like these Uber Eats deliveries and stuff. Well, Fredo, the one that gave me the super chat, he says he works 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
That's ridiculous.
Hey, he's hustling. At least he's working, I guess. But that's tough, man. That is tough.
That's hard work.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks again, Beast. I really appreciate you stopping in. Okay, so Fredo lives in Brooklyn, $1,000 rent, and you share with roommates. Okay, well that's all right. Good, man.
Says the green screen looks awesome.
Oh, she's watching?
Yeah.
Okay,
She
Katie.
said that was cool that LA Beast turned in.
Yeah, yeah, Beast, you got a lot of fans here. Yeah, I guess Cindy's daughter is watching somewhere. So Marty says, I think the tubes are defective in the manufacturing process. He's talking about the KingSong tube, and I guess he had a problem with an MSX tube as well, trying to insert slime. Where they insert the valve stem into the tube. Okay. So obviously you're getting another tube, and hopefully that tube does not have the same problem, so you can slime it as you need to. Marty says there's a rubber flap that compressed air can get through, but not squeezing slime through a straw. So it's like a one-way valve in the valve. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. All right. So I'm finally caught up on chat. Good. So let me just It is. I can't believe it. That beast is here. It's great.
I'm still excited.
Yeah. All right. So talking about scooters and my commute on scooter. Let's
Is
see.
he going to become Jersey Beast?
No, he's always LA Beast. He'll never be Jersey Beast. All right. So let's do this. Let me see if I can get this up here. This is somebody on a scooter going crazy fast. So annoying. All right. Oops. Okay, bear with me. Do I have to do that? No, I don't. Okay, good. Okay, there goes somebody on a scooter going, I don't know how fast. I would guesstimate 50 miles an hour plus. No idea what model it is. It's kind of crazy. One of the things that I discovered with the various speed testing that I did on my Ultron, that's crazy, isn't it? That was that the speedometer was off by a ton as far as what it was showing my speed was. There's a setting. Get that going again. There's a setting. The way these controllers work is they have P settings, which control all sorts of variables with the scooters. And one of the settings has to do with the amount of magnets that are in each motor. And somehow the amount of magnets correlates with calibrating the speedometer. So that number was incorrect on my scooter. And during the ride home, I had multiple time to, because I had my GPS as well, I had a lot of time to do some trial and error, and I think I finally have it dialed in correctly. But that would explain why on my initial speed test it showed I was going 94 kilometers an hour, which I definitely was not. The true top speed on that scooter is somewhere 37 to 40, depending on conditions. So actually the top speed should be very, very similar to the Dualtron, although I've never GPS tested the Dualtron for speed, which I really want to do. The main difference is just the 1600 watt motors deliver a lot more torque off the line. The combination of the big motors and the big fat tires, I mean, when that thing launches, it's crazy. But top speed is very similar to the Dualtron, which I was surprised. All right, Cliff has a tip for tires. I know, Cliff, that you have a lot of tire experience. Drill holes in the tires and fill them with expanding foam. Wouldn't that affect ride quality a little bit? Is this something you've done from experience, Cliff? Marty asked, did I see your one-wheel group ride video? I thought of you as I was in the ride. I remember that video a long time ago, Marty, when you were with some one-wheelers, but no, I did not see a recent one. Did you actually try a one-wheel yet? I'm sure you didn't, but no, I'll look for that video. I didn't see it. I'm not sure why I missed it, but I will look for it. LA Beast in the Hood, yeah, random guy. I can't believe he dropped in. Beast did a cameo. I don't know if you're familiar with what Cameo is. It's just if you go to cameo.com, I guess. A bunch of people, YouTube, famous YouTube people, celebrities and stuff. You can actually get them to do a cameo for you. Like I had one of the old contestants from The Bachelor do a cameo for Cindy for Valentine's Day. And based on that, I saw that LA Beast was on there, and then I asked him to do one for me for my 5,000 subscriber video. So,
Awesome.
and I know when he did the video, he mentioned a bunch of he watched a lot of stuff on my channel, and I assume he must have subscribed. So, that's awesome. That is awesome. And he gave me a super chat of $1.99. Beast is the man. All right. So, anyways, what was I saying?
Slime.
What's that?
Expanding foam and
Oh, that was Cliff. Yeah. The Brando. Have a good day. I think some of Beast's, like people that are LA Beast fans, see that he was in my stream, and now I have some LA Beast people in the stream. That's funny. Hey, Brando. You have a good day too. Marty says you posted the video yesterday. 20 plus one wheels. Yeah, I'll look for that then, Marty. I'll try to watch that tomorrow, maybe. Brett says, Marty and Duff, use Mr. Tuffy tire liners for preventing a puncture in the first place. That's what I use. No flats since, ever. Okay. I've never heard of Mr. Tuffy tire liners. But yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, there's all these new names here that I don't recognize. They're here for the Beast. I don't know if Beast is still here, guys. He was here. I don't know if he's still here, though. He's a busy man. Random guy asked if I ride all day and post it on YouTube. No, I don't ride all day. I have a full-time job, but electric unicycle, personal electric vehicles basically are my hobby. You know, electric unicycles, one-wheel skateboard, I guess you would call it, electric scooters, electric skateboards. I have a bunch of different things, and in total I probably have 10 electric vehicles, something like that. And 3D printing is my other major hobby as well. Skippy Raid, yeah, these are all these are all Beast guys. That's so funny. That's so funny. Have a good day. Have a good day, sir. Okay, everybody, have a good day. All you LA Beast fans, have a good day. Haven't seen Beast do a video in a while. He was doing quite a few for a few months, but then he's been a little quiet lately. But I know he has a girlfriend now, so maybe that's keeping him busy. I do wonder why EUCs are shipped with tire liners. You mean, Marty, why EUCs are not shipped with tire liners? Yeah, I mean that does make sense, and maybe someone will actually hear that suggestion and do it, because it's a major hassle, regardless of brand, to have to change a flat on an electric unicycle. So I don't think it would cost the vendors much at all to put tire liners in, you know, to make the tires more resistant to puncture. Cheap insurance. And I think that would be a good selling point. Oh, Beast, you're still here? Beast, Beast still has the stream open. All right. Thanks, man. It's awesome. I haven't seen you live stream in a little bit, Beast.
I don't think during the cameo he knew about this part of you.
Well, he might have. I mean, if he reviewed the channel, he might. Yeah, Beast, you're bringing all your fans over. That's so funny. I guess they can see what you're watching. I don't know. Everyone is here from LA Beast. Have a good day. Have a good day. Zeno ASMR? Really? Do you do ASMR? Zeno? I have seen ASMR, and it's kind of crazy. Hey, Kevin. Yes, Kevin. Kevin is at Beast's name. Have a great day. Have a good day. Random guys from Romania. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. I appreciate it. Oh, Beast asked us to raid. Okay, so he asked people to come over to my live chat. Thanks, man. Man, I'm gonna blow up. This is gonna be a viral live stream. I doubt it, but yeah, I do appreciate the effort. Yeah, well, it's probably easier, Beast, for people to get your attention here, because when you have a live stream, you know, you have hundreds, if not thousands, of people in there, and the chat is just one continuous stream. So. Oh my God, that's so funny. All right. So B says, how much does the scooter cost? It depends. It depends how much you want to spend. You can spend you know, $500, or you can buy a high-end scooter that's like $4,000 that can go 50 miles an hour plus. So it all depends what you want to spend. The one, I have two of them, and the one costs $2,200, and the other one costs about $1,500. All right, Marty. Marty's heading out.
Like a skateboard, get the Ranger.
What's that?
Like a skateboard, get the Ranger.
I don't know if Beast skateboards. I've never seen him really skateboard, I don't think. Well, no, he does have a skateboard. Actually, in some of his videos, he has a small penny. He has a small penny board. No, I don't have room to really put it here. It's
He's a
fine.
big guy. He'd love the Ranger.
Yeah.
Jersey has hills.
Well, no, Beast asked about scooters. Yeah, but Beast, I don't know what your skateboarding background is, Beast, but you might like electric skateboard. They're a lot of fun.
Get the Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Yes, Skippy's reading the comments. Huh? Yeah, maybe Beast would like this. I don't know. This is one of my 3D prints. Like I mentioned, it's kind of hard to see in camera with the lighting. Oh, because he's green.
Oh, look how cool he
Well,
looks.
it's because he's
though.
green, so
Look at the
the chroma
coloring.
key is kind of messing him up. But this is one of 3D prints. I 3D print a lot of stuff, and Cindy loves to paint the stuff, so it comes out really well.
He's
It's
cool.
cool. Yeah.
I love him.
Green prints on a chroma backdrop is not great.
But it looked kind of cool. It
It-
really
yeah, sort of.
accentuated the muscle.
So, yeah, sort of.
Cool.
All right. All right, I'm scrolling up here, guys. Yeah, James, if you if anyone you people that are rating the live stream that don't know anything about personal electric vehicles, if you go to my website eucarmy.com, it's pretty easy to remember. I have all information there about electric unicycles and other stuff that I ride. So if you're looking for stuff about electric unicycles, scooters, electric skateboards, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah. I have information there that can lead you to more information. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great hobby down here, especially in Florida where winter it's 75 degrees and you can ride all year round. It's a little more of a pain when you live in the northern areas of the country where you can't really ride in the winter, but it's a great hobby down here in Florida. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to, again, anyone that's here from Beast, thank you. Appreciate it. Angry Blonde Kid asks, what state is this filmed in, if you don't mind me asking? I live in Florida. I live in Southwest Florida. Hence why I have a lot of opportunities to ride. Beast asked me, do you fear that you will hit a rock and fly off that thing? Well, funny you should mention that, because if you go back a couple months, you'll see a video titled, I don't know what it's titled, something on my Backfire Ranger. I wiped out on it. I was actually in the bike lane that's in the video right now, riding my Backfire Ranger electric skateboard, and I glanced to the side and was looking at something at the side for too long, obviously, and I hit a piece of angle iron or angle steel in the bike lane, instantly stopped the board, and I went flying. I was probably going 15, 16 miles an hour. Luckily, I normally ride with full gear. I had on a helmet, wrist guards, elbow pads, knee pads. Yeah, I guess that's it. And so I got out of that with just some bruises and like a brush burn on my back. It could have been a lot worse. Like my pads and stuff they were like ground down to nothing. So I was very lucky. It could have been a lot worse. So yeah, that is always a risk. And I said in the beginning of the stream that just last week there was a person on a bike that was in a bike lane very close to where I live that got killed by a driver that veered into the bike lane who was obviously distracted. So that is always a risk when you're in the bike lane like I am here in this video. So calculated risk, but it's a risk for sure.
Maybe Beast can perform our ratings.
You can what? Yes, that scooter can go 50 miles an hour. Yep. Some can go faster, actually. Oh my God, guys. I had a joke cool. So Beast had a joke cool. Well, I thought in some of your videos, Beast, you had like a penny board in the background. Like, a cheap toy skateboard. But I mean, you seem like the kind of guy that would be able to skateboard, but I don't know. That's why you wear a helmet. Yes, that is why you wear a helmet. Zeno ASMR says, I'm currently riding a Santa Cruz longboard. Okay, cool.
I have a Santa Cruz.
Is yours a Santa Cruz?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, Cindy has a Santa Cruz skateboard as well. XK9 unit, did you say you could get one of those that goes 50 miles per hour? Yes, you can. Google Dualtron, either Dualtron Thunder or Dualtron Ultra, and look it up. Yeah, they can go 50 miles an hour plus. I wouldn't recommend it. It's because the tires on these things are about 11-inch diameter. So it's not the most stable thing. When you have little tires going that fast, you don't have the same gyroscopic effect that you do with something that has bigger tires like a motorcycle. So you are taking your life in your own hands if you go that fast on a scooter, in my opinion. All right. I'm gonna leave the live stream. Bye. Okay, thanks for stopping in. Have a good day, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Brett says that I'm afraid of hitting large metal objects. Yes, I am. Especially now. Because I found when you hit a large metal object and you're traveling at a decent rate of speed, it hurts. Especially, and that was really a bad fall because I didn't see it coming and my head was turned and it was just like you're just down on the ground and you're just like, what the hell just happened? You do a quick physical inventory. The board actually went out into the road. Luckily, there was no cars next to me when I went down because that's a 6-lane road. So yeah, it was not a good time. Just another idiot. All right. Thanks for stopping in. What a cool stream to raid. This is my favorite so far. Angry Blonde Kid. Hey, cool. I usually do this every 2 weeks, so feel free to stop in anytime. If you subscribe, you will get a notification when I live stream. Brady Galloway. That board is so cool. Is it from the future? Well, it is cool. It is not from the future, but it is expensive. That's the one thing with this hobby is that it's a very expensive hobby. I mean, you can get into it for as little as a couple $100, but it's quite normal to be spending between $1,000 and $2,000 for, like the one that you see on the screen right now. That costs $1,700. That they're very expensive toys, so keep that in mind. You can get into electric skateboarding for less. Like I have a Meepo V2P that was about $400, and that's a lot of fun. It's just it's not nearly as nice as Fredo's Evolve, but it's a good entry-level board. Subscribe. Okay, good. Yeah. Feel free to subscribe. Anyone that stopped in, appreciate it. All right. So let me. After it looks like the raid is done. I'm done getting raided, but that was fun. So, okay. So you heard me talking about the guy that got killed. Let me see if I can get this to come up. I actually copied the news story. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Damn it. Just bear with me 1 second here. And also, anyone that's still in here that's new, I also convert this to a podcast that you can listen to on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify. If you just search for Dust PEV live stream, you should find it. All right, let's just try this one more time. Like I said, this is just down the road from me, unfortunately. 72-year-old man killed by a 52-year-old. I don't know if that's a man or a woman. So, yep, it's definitely something that, especially during my commute to work, I was definitely thinking about that. Like that would be an unfortunate way to go. Okay. Okay, here's all right. Now, so I'm a cool uncle. Yeah, I am an uncle. I don't have any kids of my own, but I do have nieces and nephews. Okay, here's another video. Hopefully this one comes up. This is somebody that was going, according to his phone, 41 miles an hour on his Gotway Monster, seated. Let me see if this is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. He keeps holding his phone up to show you his speed. Gotway Monster is like the biggest format EUC that you can get. It's a 22-inch EUC. And it's so big that it has a seat that you can actually put on it. You can ride it seated or standing. And actually the odd thing is when you're seated, you can actually go faster sometimes because you have less wind drag. But imagine going 40 miles an hour on a single wheel. That guy in the scooter can go 50 miles an hour on two wheels, but this is a single wheel. Some people put a lot of faith in what's underneath them. Yeah. Well, remember you did over 30, I guess, on the Monster, right? I think you did. Not for a long period of time. All right, I think it's getting. Oh, it already got to that spot where he hit 40. So yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy. There's another video. I don't know that I put a note on it. No. There's another video of a guy on, what was he riding? I'm not sure if it was I don't remember if it was a Monster or MSX. But he was going, he posted it in the Speedy Feet owners group on Facebook. And I don't know that he mentioned the speed, but he was zipping in and out. He was, at one point he passed a scooter, and he was like in the right of way basically. And I thought it was kind of crazy what he was doing. You know, he was kind of going in between the main lane of traffic and what looked to be a bike lane, but then I guess there was a car that cut him off. And it's funny when I commented on the video, and I shouldn't even comment because I know I'm in the minority, but I'm just like, it blows my mind that this thing had like nothing but likes. Everyone's like, oh, cool, great video, that's awesome. And for whatever reason, maybe it's my age or whatever, but I just think to myself like, man, I just think you're setting a bad precedent, man. Well, when you're riding like that, and when I see the reaction, you're not only endangering yourself, but possibly other people on the road, depending on how they react. Because when he passed the guy in the scooter actually seemed startled. And I don't know. I just didn't think it was very smart. Cliff, now Cliff Woods just gave me a super chat. Wow, man, this is like wildfire. Thanks, man. Thanks, Cliff. Didn't have to do that. Cindy.
Yeah.
Do you want to give me like a 2-minute break?
Okay.
Do you want to wear my blue blockers, or do you want something else? Okay. Cindy's going to give me a break. We always have our Cindy interlude, so I can take a bathroom break while she steps in here.
It's so freaking bright in here. Can you get out without messing things up?
Yep.
Sorry. You take more than 2 minutes, by the way. Do I need to put the headphones? I don't need to.
You don't need the headphones.
Where am I looking? I can't even see myself because you have the screen covered.
Well, just look at the camera.
I don't know where is it?
Camera's right here.
Yeah, but I can't tell. Oh,
Right
there
here,
I am.
Right there, and right there's the
No,
chat.
is that me? Okay.
Well, that's on delay, but this, right here's the chat.
Oh,
You can
okay.
see. If you want to see yourself live, right there's what you look like.
Oh, wow, that's what the whole.
Yeah, that's what it looks
That's
like when you get
cool.
super chats. I have 3 super chats.
Wow.
Wow.
He is a cool uncle, by the way. He is like, he picks out the coolest toys and stuff. It's so bright, and I have sensitivity in my eyes with the freaking MS. Ah, how is everybody? Yeah, I've done the Dualtron at 39, 40. I think I actually hit 40. Actually, I did hit 40 3 times during that one ride. It was super fast, but it was super cool being that I've had a motorcycle before. Hi, Cliff. How are you? Having a motorcycle before, I kind of really enjoyed it, but this illness makes me feel a little weak and not as strong as I used to be when I rode the motorcycle. So I feel better keeping slower speeds myself, but a good 27 isn't bad. I really love the Ranger, by the way. Oh, Zeno, you're going to have to wait for Sean to answer that question because I'm not sure. Is it possible, are you out, Sean, to convert a standard longboard into an electric? Oh, great. You're always focused on my butt in these videos. That's the regular skateboard there.
Yeah, people do that. They just take the board off and they, yeah, I've seen people do that. You can DIY your own electric skateboard. Just buy the components and do it.
So my Santa Cruz board, we can tweak it?
Like you could, I guess you could probably put a motor on it. It would make it, it's not really designed for it.
We need to do that path again.
Which
The Dunkin' Donuts path,
Oh,
now
yeah.
that it's not flooded.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this chair's really comfy. You gonna show him that?
Yeah, I'm gonna show this because Cliff has a 3D printer, so he'll appreciate.
Oh, Cliff is cool.
He'll appreciate my pain.
Oh, but see, well, let me have it because I'm the painter, right? Mm-hmm. So you can explain what happened to it, but I still think it's. Oh, you can't even see it.
It's kind of washed out from the light.
It's so washed out. Can't tell at all.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's like, yeah, maybe you can pull up what it actually is, but
yeah.
I'm going to make it some kind of platter thing or something. I don't know. But bye, guys. They make electrified truck kits. Yeah, they do. They make electrified everything. Am I going back too far? Bye, everybody.
Thank you. I'll try to hold it from here on out. Yeah, so what Cindy was talking about, and again, because this is white, it just, you can't make it out at all. I don't know if I go closer, can you see it? Yeah, okay, there you go. This is a Fantasy Castle is the name of the print. This print, and I know Cliff will appreciate this because, like I said, Cliff has 3D printers, and some other people might appreciate this. As you can see, this thing is big, it's huge, and this is only about 40% of the print. It's like it was supposed to take like 4 days. I was over 2 days into it, and I ran out of filament, which isn't usually the end of the world. You can just change the filament normally, but unfortunately, when I went to change the filament this time, I wasn't really being as careful as I should have been, and I put some weight on the bar that the print head's on, and it made it drop its Z height. So then it was no longer at the correct Z. So I don't know. I couldn't. It went to start again, and it just started like dragging on the model and you know, knocking it around. So I couldn't really recover from it, unfortunately. So now I have it started again, but I have to make sure that I'm a lot more careful changing filament on a 4-day print like this, because then you wind up with just a paperweight basically. Cindy will try to do something with this, but it's kind of a bummer. I mean, this bottom part is super ornate, but then there's another this much of just this intricate, beautiful architecture. But it's that's a common thing with 3D printers. You have to be used to failure, because there are a lot of situations where a print will die on you for various reasons, and in this case, it was my fault. What the? Brett just gave us a $20 super chat? What the heck?
Brett!
What the heck, guys? Man, oh man. You guys are killing me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to start to cry. That's crazy.
Need to send Brett a sticker.
Yeah. I don't remember, Brett. Have you ever bought anything from me? I don't remember. I have to look at my sales. All right. Yeah, that's great. Wow, you guys are being really, really generous. So Cliff says, the speed sensation is strange on these. Anything up to 20 miles an hour seems slow, then anything after that seems crazy fast. Are you talking, Cliff, are you talking about the scooter? Maybe? Because I did comment when I was riding at 20 miles an hour at first, it did feel very, very slow. But in the video, it didn't look slow. It just feels that way. I'm not quite sure why. XK9 unit says, I'd be paranoid as all hell going over 20 to 25. Yeah, and you should be. You know, I'm usually, you know, low 20s on an EUC or scooters is just fine for me. And even going that speed, you need to be very, very, very aware of your surroundings. Marty, who was on here earlier, he had a wipeout on his EUC going 18 miles an hour, and he was going 18, and he broke his shoulder, which he didn't realize at first. But yeah, you can get hurt so easy. And you can get hurt going a lot slower than that, actually. When I first got my one wheel, I had all kinds of problems with dismounting. I fell 3 times dismounting, going, you know, basically 0 miles an hour, but came off in such a way that I went backwards and cracked my head on pavement. You know, luckily I had my helmet on, so I was fine. But I mean, and it's unfortunate, but there's so many people that do not wear safety gear, or very minimal safety gear, and it's the kind of thing that you don't really learn until you pay the price. You know, once something bad happens, then you're like, oh wow, maybe I should wear some safety gear. So live and learn. Cliff says, nice to see you, Cindy.
So sweet.
Zero ASMR, yeah, convert standard to longboard and electric, yes. Yes, Cliff, that was a disaster print. I've had a lot of those. I had a weird problem earlier this week, and this is a weird one, Cliff. You might not have ever seen this, but I've seen it before with this model printer. One of my i3 Megas, I was printing parts for a stand, you know, which I print constantly, all the time. And this one stand part was almost done, but I walked in there, and the print head had moved all the way to the max Z height, and was still acting like it was printing. It was spitting out filament almost like soft serve ice cream. It was just piling up. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? This particular printer has a known problem with if you use the SD card that they give you. It's a low quality SD card, and it starts to degrade, and what happens is the G-code files will actually just become corrupted, and you'll see all sorts of weird things happen, and that was one of the symptoms. I just put a new SD card in there, copied the same file over, and it printed fine. So yeah, with 3D printers, it's a very fun hobby, but you have to be patient because there's lots of potential hurdles to overcome. But you can make cool stuff, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Cindy loves some of the stuff that I'm able to make.
Should I show?
Huh? Well, what else? You can hand me other stuff if you want. Zeno is heading out. Okay, thanks for stopping in, bud. Like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Hi, Jack Buckenmeyer. I don't know if you're a referral from LA Beast or if you just stopped in because you are already an EUC hobbyist. Either way, welcome. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at my notes again. This is more to do with okay, here. Yeah, let me see how these show up. These are just more of the 3D prints that I've done that Cindy has painted. This is a Spider-Man print that she gave it a Venom coloring.
Awesome movie.
This would be cool to do supersized too. Yeah, this is real small.
Oh, that would be. There's one of the Yodas.
She's done Yodas. She likes painting Yoda.
Yeah. Oh, there. Yeah.
I said,
he looks almost
he's
clear.
green. He's green. So.
Yeah. And Groot.
Groot. Yes. If you're into 3D printing and you have not seen a Groot model, you have not been looking very hard because there are
everywhere
tons of Groot models everywhere. And this is a funny Chewbacca model.
He's so cute. He almost looks like the Mr. Peanut.
Yeah.
You know, the peanut from the peanut cookies or something.
Yes, and there's many more things that she's painted. She's really good at it. All right. So anyways, what I was saying was, the last stream we talked a lot about the Z10 thing, and we talked about how eWheels was no longer selling Z10s because of the issues that they've had with support. And I copied and pasted a post from Jason regarding that. And this is in regards to the reliability of the Z10. He said the Russian report was based on, and he's talking about, what's that Russian? Is it EcoDrift? Yeah, ecodrift.ru is their website, I believe. The Russian report was based on a very limited WeChat exchange that was conflated a bit out of proportion. Based on the evidence that we've encountered, that after the first 50 kilometers, the reliability of the Z10 has been pretty good, similar to other wheels. Meaning that if you get if it works out of the box, you're okay. But there's been quite a few that either had bad system boards out of the box or the battery was dead out of the box, which is actually addressed by something else, or hopefully addressed by something else I have here on my notes. The primary issue that EcoDrift and we, being eWheels, has had with the Z series is Ninebot's refusal to provide any normalized system of replacement parts, warranty, or communications. It's as if at a management level they've abandoned commitment to the wheel. So that's basically Jason's feelings on why the Z10 has been so problematic from a dealer standpoint, and I totally understand. I mean, that would be so frustrating to have to try to support your customers, basically warranty work out of your pocket, basically, and that's what he's been doing. And it sounds like he still hasn't been able to get any sort of remediation from them. Brett says, just got an Ironman arc core light I can hang from night at cool. Hang at night, so cool. CCP, what's CCP mean, Brett? Is this something that's 3D printed? There's so many models for superhero stuff. Like one of the models I downloaded that I haven't tried to do yet is a full-size Thor's hammer. You could do Thor's hammer. Oh, you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe that after we get the castle done, I'll try Thor's hammer. But there's so many props and stuff, helmets, weapons that you can make with the 3D printer. They all take a long time, but you can do it. So, anyways, back to the Z10. Like I said, one of the big issues that they've had is batteries dying, basically, because the Z10 draws more power when even when it's turned off than you would expect. Some people say as much as 10% a week. And what happens is once the battery dies to a certain level, it drops to a certain level, you can no longer charge it conventionally. You can't just slap it on the charger and have it come back. You have to actually open it up and manually charge each battery pack individually until they get to a voltage where you can once again charge them with a charger. So that's kind of shitty, but Ninebot just released, I guess last week, a updated firmware that supposedly addresses the excessive battery drain that people have been seeing. It's firmware version 1.1.7. So if you have a Z10 and you have not heard about that, you probably got the notification by the app by now, as long as you use the app. There is a firmware out there that is supposed to address the excessive battery drain. So if Marty, I think I read that Marty had applied that to his Z10, but I don't believe, at least when I last saw, he had reported back any noticeable difference. If it holds battery better than it did before. But at least it's good that they're doing something about it, or at least trying to. 333 and G's here. Hey man, how you doing? My Inmotion V8 motor cut out on me last week. Was only going something miles per hour. Had a bad fall. Lucky was wearing protection, but now scared to go back on if it will happen again. Oh, going 10 to 12 miles per hour. What was the battery level when that happened? But whenever you fall, it is a scary thing, and I can understand feeling gun shy about it. That's definitely a very normal reaction people have. All right, so while he's getting back to me on that, 80%. Oh, okay. So you were going. It was 80% battery, and it cut out. And you were just doing normal riding? You were just cruising? You weren't doing anything? You weren't doing a hard break or a hill climb or anything that would have created a high amp draw on the motor? I don't know that I've ever heard of an Inmotion V8 cutting out unexpectedly, to be honest with you. They're pretty reliable wheels. Okay, I'm just loading up my next video here. Another Daniel Kwan video. I like Daniel's stuff. Yeah, we'll see if anyone else in chat has heard of that happening. I have not. I have not heard of that happening on the Inmotion V8. So I assume that you've ridden it since that happened, and I assume that it's felt normal after that. Okay, so let's load up. Does anyone else feel all whacked out from the time change? Just everything feels weird. It feels weird that it's 9:18 already. All right. Okay, like I said, this is a. Let's stop that one. How do I do that? Okay. Just bear with me. Remove. Oh shit, I removed the wrong one. Damn it. Alright, just bear with me a second here. Let's do this. I was trying to maximize. Well, you can watch Daniel Kwan while I'm doing this. He's talking about the X-Way, X-Way 1 Pro, which seemed pretty awesome. Let's see how many we got. Okay, let's do this one. This is really compelling, I'm sure. All right, so then we full screen it. Do that. Move that below me. That's interesting that it's showing ads. Okay, so anyways, sorry about that. What Daniel's talking about is the X-Way 1 Pro. The X-Way 1 is regarded as one of the best sub $1,000 boards you can buy, and it's kind of a unique construction compared to the battery component and the speed controller. You know, a lot of skateboards. I'm trying to resize this thing. I'm just gonna let it go like it is. A lot of skateboards, it will. You know, you have the contain or the compartments in the bottom for the battery and the speed controller. The X-Way 1 has that all integrated into the board. It's all there's no visible battery or speed controller, which is kind of cool. Makes it very sleek, but it has really good power as well. Really, the only downside is it doesn't flex as much as a regular board would because all those components are in there. I'm watching. Oh, okay, that's right. And the X-Way 1 Pro it's a hub motor. It's a hub motor skateboard, but it has an option that you just saw there briefly, that you can actually slap a belt drive system on it, which is kind of crazy. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Price-wise, I believe it's supposed to be similar. $800 maybe, something like that. So yeah, if you are a electric skateboarder, you might want to check out the X-Way. The X-Way 1 Pro. I don't think that it's available yet, but it looked very interesting to me. And oh my God, I did it again! You son of a bitch! My backdrop of the videos that I had playing, I keep deleting it. I clicked the wrong thing, but I'll figure it out. I'm new to this. You guys understand? Okay, there we go. But I don't know why I'm seeing ads all of a sudden. It's weird. Okay, so anyways, let me get back here. Has anyone said anything in chat? So Cliff's okay. In regards to 333 and G's Inmotion V8, cutting out on him, I think they all can cut out going uphill if you push them very hard. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, you can if you do something that exceeds the safe amperage level. There is a possibility it would shut off, but it didn't sound like he was doing anything extreme like that. Dan the Man, watch out for CCP. I don't know, man. I don't know what CCP is. I must be too old. I don't know. Gadget House says, I want the Ranger X1 but don't want to wait. Have you had any problems out of yours? Well, if you look at my channel, you'll see a lot of Backfire Ranger videos. Problem-wise, well, I had two problems actually. When I first got it, the charger that they sent me did not work, and that was a widespread problem for U.S. Customers. The initial batch of chargers that they sent out, for some reason, did not automatically switch between 220 and 110 volts cleanly. Some did, some did not. A lot of them did not. So I had to get a charger right off the bat. They sent me a new charger. And I've just gotten finished replacing all 4 tires. Another very common problem that I think was almost universal was all of the Rangers on smooth surfaces had horrible tire scrubbing noise. It almost sounded like it had a flat spot, and it had something to do with the design of the tire. I don't know if they were slightly out of round, but and a lot of people didn't even care. You know, it didn't affect the way that the board rode. Outside of some people complained of like a little bit of instability at higher speeds. But I again, Backfire replaced all 4 of my tires for free. There's videos on my channel that outline me doing the process, which I struggled with but got through it. And now the tires sound fine. They sound great. And Cindy loves the Backfire. It's probably number 1 or number 2 favorite electric vehicle that we have for her. She loves like riding it on grass. It's a very soft. It's a very soft ride compared to the Meepo. I think the Ranger has a Hobby Wing speed controller, which is a lot smoother in control compared to the Meepo. The Meepo is a very violent braking and acceleration experience, whereas the Ranger is much more pleasant to ride. So, yeah, but I recommend it for the money. If they're still, are they still $800? I think that's about what it was. I think for the money, it really is a nice deal. And there's a lot of people out there that love their Rangers. They really do. Have a good day, Core Floor Bajor. Okay, thanks, man. Thanks for coming in. and G. I was on the forums. Guy had the V5 after 6 months of riding. Then one day the motor shut off, took a big chunk out of his chin. So then you bought the helmet. 3 weeks later, I got the motor shut off in the V8. So did I miss it? Did you? So have you ridden it since then? And if so, has it felt normal? But no, I definitely understand. I mean, you want, if that happens and there were no conditions that would make a wheel normally cut off and it died on you, that would make me paranoid. You know, because imagine if you're going faster than 10, 12 miles an hour. You know, a V8 can go 18 or 19. That would not be good if it died on you. Where did you get it from? I'm curious if you got it from eWheels, and depending on where you got it from, did you contact the person you got it from? Gadget House. Seems like they still got some bugs to fix. The WeGo AT looks the same, but has its problems too. Oh, the WowGo. You're probably talking about the WowGo all-terrain board. I heard some bad things about that. I'm trying to think. I think Preston from Press Reset did a review on the WowGo all-terrain board. There was something very unsafe that he discovered, and I can't remember the details of it, but he was not a big fan. And I think the WowGo uses a similar ESC to the Meepo, meaning not a very good one. I think the speed controller on the Meepo and a bunch of the Chinese budget boards is called a binary speed controller. I read that somewhere, which I didn't realize. So, but yeah, I know the WowGo has that as well. Oh man, that's going to bother me that I can't remember what the issue was that Preston saw with that WowGo board. I think it was something that made it very, very unstable. Very, very unstable at speed for him. But I can't remember the details. It was a few months ago that I saw that. Oh yeah, Hunka's there. Hey dude.
Hey, Honka.
Hunka. Oh, see, Cindy's all happy. She hears the name Hunka and she gets all excited.
He's the little Lego guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Gadget House says, seems like they still got some bugs to fix. The WeGo, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, I already read that, sorry. Hunka says, so what does everyone think about the potential hazards of allowing EUCs in public transit? Should they be allowed on trains? So what you're talking about, like the correlation to airplanes? How airplanes don't allow most electric vehicles. I don't know. I don't know that it's as much of a concern on a vehicle like a bus or a train as a airplane. You know, I could see, like, you know, because of the way an airplane is, where you have stuff down in a luggage compartment that is not staffed by people, that you wouldn't see a potential problem. I guess I could understand that, and the fact that you might be 30,000 feet in the air. On a train or a bus or something, I don't really understand the realistic risk. But all it takes is, you know, some city council member to show like a video of an EUC burning up, and hey, look what could happen. You know, which is true of any lithium battery powered device. I mean, if they want to be literal about it, then I guess no one should have a phone on a public transportation either, because they all have lithium batteries and they can burn up too. So yeah, I think it's kind of an overreach, personally. So Gadget House says, wish I got. So you wish that you got. So why do you wish that you got a Backfire Ranger over a one wheel first? I'm curious. Because I love my one wheel. I like it more. I mean, I like the Ranger, but I love my one wheel. So I'm curious what makes you say that. Now, I mean, the Ranger is nice because it gives you a lot more flexibility as far as terrain goes. Stupid ads playing. It's really weird that it's showing ads all of a sudden. Okay. Yeah, a Ranger will allow you to go in a lot of terrain that a one wheel could as well, but not as well as a one wheel, I don't think. Ranger top speed is faster than a one wheel. You know, Ranger can go 20 miles an hour. One wheel is rated for up to 19, but it starts tipping you back at 15. I think it's easier to ride a Ranger than a one wheel. But generally speaking, I enjoy my riding experience on a one wheel more. So I'm curious why you feel that you would like a Ranger more. What's that, Cindy?
I agree with him.
Well, you haven't ridden the one wheel much.
Yeah, but I rode it enough to know.
Okay. Hey Chubb, have a good day, man. Chubb Jab. All right, so 333 in G says that you have ridden the V8 since it cut out on you, but only in a car park doing slow speeds. Oh, you're in the UK, got it on eBay. Okay. Oh man, you should have gotten it from Ian over there. But yeah, that is concerning for sure. I wish I could give you some solid advice to troubleshoot exactly what the problem is, short of asking an experienced dealer. Yeah, I don't know if Ian might answer a question for you. I don't know. Cliff says backfireboards.com still have the R1 for $8.99. Okay, yeah, because I ordered my Ranger directly from the Backfire website as well. I think that might be what I paid, $8.99. Pretty sure. Gadget House says my V8 cutout cost me $1,500 in medical bills. Oh, wait a second. Did I miss somewhere that you had a V8 cutout in chat, Gadget House? So tell me about your cutout. What happened in your scenario? That's interesting. The general consensus I've always heard about the Inmotion V8 is it's a super reliable wheel. It's interesting to hear about two cutouts from two guys in the same stream. Okay, Gadget House says you like rear trucks. Okay. You just like having four wheels under you? It's understandable. The other thing the one wheel has going for it is its ability to turn. I mean, if you're a good one wheel rider, you can do a 180 on the spot. Obviously, with a skateboard, you cannot turn as tight. And you can't. I mentioned on the Greenway ride last week that I feel like I have the least amount of emergency control on a electric skateboard compared to all my other stuff. Which doesn't mean I don't have control, but I just feel like I don't have as many options because I can't turn as tight. I don't know that I can necessarily stop as fast, so that is a consideration. Okay, so Hunka's talking again about some people getting hassled. I've read that too, Hunka, I guess on the forum somewhere, that some people were getting hassled. I think it was a bus. Someone being told that they weren't allowed to take an EUC on a bus. And yeah, I don't know what you do in that situation. I don't know that you can fight it per se. The dangerous thing is if that sentiment grows, and it becomes a lemming mentality, and lots of people start to adopt this. Because, like I said, all it takes is one person seeing a video of an EUC burning up, and they can sound the alarm, even falsely so, that this is like it's a probable thing. This is going to happen, where in reality it is very unlikely to happen. But yeah, that is dangerous, definitely. All right, Gadget House. We're talking about the Ranger again. Try to order for $8.99, but won't let me. But for $9.99, it'll let me pre-order. Okay. Oh, you never had? Okay. I didn't realize you never had a skateboard before. Well, I would definitely recommend an all-terrain. I mean, the Evolves are so much more money. I mean, Fredo said that his was $2,000. Especially if you never had a skateboard before, I wouldn't recommend spending that much. I would think you'd be better off getting something like a Backfire Ranger. I didn't realize that they were out of stock right now. I have not heard that. Gadget House. One wheel nosedives all the time. Well, it can. Depending. I've never had a one wheel nosedive on me. Just FYI. But I don't ride it aggressively. Some guys are super aggressive on their one wheels. I've never had a nosedive, but that definitely happens. Like that, there's people that make a living selling. Well, I don't know if they make a living, but they sell accessories specifically for one wheels nosediving that are basically caster wheels that they put on the front of the board. So if it nosedives, I guess in theory that you could recover. I don't know how realistic that is though. All right, we're watching a salad video right now. Let's skip that ad. No, we got a second ad. Wow. Pressure relief in the general area. Okay, good. Skip ads. Bizarre. Okay. And for those of you not familiar with one wheels, what it does basically is, unlike an EUC, it doesn't have any sort of audio feedback when you're overpowering the device, which I think is stupid, and I don't think that would be a hard thing to incorporate into a one wheel. But basically, if you are going too fast on a one wheel, it will bring the nose up to let you know. It's like tilt back on an EUC. But if you overpower the board, like say you lean on it, you accelerate real hard, you're going up a hill, or you're doing something that strains the motor beyond its normal capabilities, you don't get a warning. The front end just drops, and I would say 90% of the time you're gonna go flying. If you're lucky, you can run it out. If you're not so lucky, you're gonna face plant. So that's a common problem. But again, I ride mostly flat surfaces. I'm not doing a lot of extreme riding. I've never nosedived my board, but that is a definite concern for sure with a one wheel. Another reason you should be wearing full pads. Okay, Hunka says a phone battery does not have that much power packed into it. Yes, true. There's definitely not as much potential in a phone battery, but they do explode. I've seen stories of people actually getting hurt from exploding phones. Okay, Gadget House, in regards to the one wheel, why he wishes he would have bought a Backfire Ranger first instead of a one wheel. And Gadget House, do you have a XR or a Plus? I'm just curious. But he says he likes the one wheel. It's just not as fun when you have to think about the title all the time. Think about the title all the time.
Maybe the tilt.
Oh, the tilt. The tilt, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The one wheel seems very intuitive to me. I think riding it was actually more intuitive than learning EUCs. But to each their own. Cindy prefers the Backfire Ranger over the one wheel as well. So you are not alone for sure. Hunka says, just reflecting on some of the unexpected EUC fires. Yeah. Yes. I saw a video. There's a guy on YouTube that works on wrecked Teslas. He likes to rebuild wrecked Teslas, and I bet some of you already know who I'm talking about. His channel name is Rich Rebuilds, and one of his recent videos, he was doing experiments with cells that came out of a Tesla battery. That basically they almost look like AA batteries almost. I think they're a little bigger than that, but they were just demonstrating basically what happens and how it's like a chain reaction if a lithium battery burns up. They had a bunch of them taped together like a pack of like 5 or 6, and they took an acetylene torch and heated one of them, and once it hit a certain temperature, that sucker exploded, and it caught all the other ones on it caught all the other batteries on fire, and they exploded like firecrackers. And they put a heat gun on it, or a heat thermometer, I guess, and they were reading like 400 degrees, something like that. I mean, it got incredibly hot, incredibly fast. So lithium batteries are inherently dangerous for sure, but to find the happy ground there between safety and practicality, I guess that's what they're looking for. Hunka asked me, how am I liking the Speedy Ultron Ultra? Well, now, as I mentioned, you mustn't have seen my last video, Hunka, where I took the Ultron to work on Friday, and someone had corrected me that technically that is not an Ultron Ultra. It's called an Ultron T11. That is the model that I have. On the website that I got it from, Components Singapore, they listed it as an Ultra, but this person corrected me that it actually is an Ultron T11. And when I did a search on Ultron T11, I saw lots of content, lots more than I did when I did a search for Ultron Ultra. So yeah, that is an Ultron T11, and I'm liking it for the money. It's a fun little vehicle. The acceleration is crazy with 1600 watt motors. Its top speed however, is about the same as the Dualtron, I've discovered after I did some GPS testing of my speed. When I did my initial speed test, the speedometer, which I found out later was not calibrated correctly, was showing 94 kilometers an hour, which translates to 58 miles an hour. So in reality, it goes 37 to 40 miles an hour. So yes, it's not quite as terrifying as I thought it was at first, but it's still a fun device. And my round trip to and from work was about 24 miles each way, and it got me there and back with about 2 bars of battery both times. So yeah, it's compared to what something like a Dualtron costs. I think it's a good value for the money. It's my opinion. Gadget House. The iPhone autocorrect sucks. Yeah, most people spell Duff with 2 F's. I'm weird. Hunka asked, "How's the reliability been on the Dualtron versus the Ultron?" Well, I don't think that I've had either long enough to have a lot of durability issues. I have not had any issues yet. The biggest issue I had was on the Dualtron. I had a flat tire. The biggest issue I've had with the Ultron is it came with no manual, so I've had to kind of discover how things work on my own with assistance from Elvis from Component Singapore. He provided me some information as well, but like the speed calibration, I had to kind of figure that out on my own. I also discovered that when the scooter was sent to me, it was set for 36 volts instead of 60 volts, which didn't affect the way that it drove, but it affected the battery meter because the controller thought that it was a 36 volt pack when it was actually a 60 volt pack. So the side effect of that was the battery meter was showing full all the time when I actually was not full, and I ran out of power the one time because of that, and I had to figure that out on my own. Let me close that. Okay. So yeah, but reliability wise, time will tell. Time will tell. All right, Gadget House. I don't think I've had you in a stream before, Gadget House. I appreciate you stopping in. So Gadget House says, no, I love the EUC way more. I'm new to the board. Okay. Oh, so okay. So you love the EUCs more. Yeah. I still think the riding experience on the one wheels is more fun for me than an EUC, but the ability to go fast and far and more challenging terrain on an EUC definitely is appealing as well, for sure. My V8 cutoff when I went on Darkness Spot moved the limit to 21. Oh, okay. Okay, so it sounds like your V8 cut off because you went faster than you disabled the normal limiter. So yeah, I've never heard of anyone going 21 miles an hour on a V8, so I guess that makes sense. Oh, you have a V10 now? Okay. A V10 or a V10F? With the only difference being the V10F has the bigger battery, I believe. Hunka, any plans on getting an electric motorcycle? No.
Yeah.
What? Oh, so I guess Cindy has a plan to get an electric motorcycle. No, I've seen a few of them out there, and they're expensive.
I watched Norman Reedus on it. It was awesome.
Well, Norman Reedus has a lot of money.
I know, but he loved it. He thought it was awesome.
But no, Cindy had when I met Cindy, she had a motorcycle. She had a Kawasaki Ninja 250, right?
300.
A 300. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she likes motorcycles. But no, I'm not looking to buy any. Brett Holtzman says, "Looks like balls go through that seat." Are you talking about the seat on the scooter? That's actually quite normal. Like because I have a road bike, a conventional road bike. It's quite normal to have that little cutout there for comfort. So evidently the scooter seat has that as well. So that's for comfort. Cliff says, one article I read said most nosedives are caused by people leaning too far forward, and all you have to do to prevent it is keep your head over the wheel. Yeah, basically, yeah, that is true. It's from overpowering the board. trying to accelerate really, really hard. I don't think I've ever heard of a nosedive from someone trying to brake too hard, but yeah, accelerating too hard for sure. And much like an EUC, the lower the battery is, the easier it is to do that. So yeah, I do not ride my one wheel in that way, so I've not experienced that. Hunka said, "Did you get your new RTX 2080 GPU yet?" No, I did not. I made a video when I talked about the RTX 2080, how HP had said I wasn't going to be getting a replacement until like April 20th, like 2 months. But since then I have gotten an updated ETA that now says I'm supposed to still get the card in March. So I guess availability has improved. I'm hoping the delay is because they fixed whatever problems was causing the lockups and overheating and all that kind of stuff. But no, I have not gotten it yet. No, I do not have an Oculus Rift, but my new computer would support that. It definitely has the power to do it. Gadget House, like speed, check my one wheel video. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check out your site. Oh, you got a Z10 coming too? Wow, dude. And you're going to be like Marty. You just got PEVs out the yin-yang, huh? Well, okay. Well, hopefully your Z10, first of all, is not dead out of the box. Hopefully the battery is not dead. And it seems like if it is not dead out of the box, then it should hopefully work okay. I had the Z10 for demo for a few days when it was making its cross-country tour. And it looks awesome. It's visually, it's different than anything. The fat tire has pluses and minuses. It definitely helps you over certain terrain because of the way that the physics of that wheel. It felt like it wants to stay upright, meaning like when you go to turn it, you have to really kind of almost like you do with a Monster somewhat. You have to use more body to turn it. You can't flip it around. It wants to naturally just kind of stay upright. Speed-wise, it's technically slower unless you unlock it. It's technically slower than a 18L, which is slower than an MSX. So, although 28 miles an hour is plenty fast for most people, but it's not quite as fast. As far as acceleration and braking, it felt on par with any of my other wheels. It didn't feel significantly slower or faster in that regard. So I'm sure you'll like it. I just hope it works for you out of the box. People that have functioning Z10s, I haven't heard anyone say that they did not like the wheel. So I think you would like it. Did Cindy, Hunka says, did Cindy try out the Ultron T11? Yes, she has, briefly. She much prefers the Dualtron. The Dualtron is obviously it's a higher quality scooter. You can just tell the build quality is better. But the biggest reason that she would probably prefer the Dualtron is the cruise control. Her hand does not like keeping a constant pressure on anything for a long period of time. And the Dualtron has a speed control where if you hold at a certain speed for I think 5 to 7 seconds. It will just maintain that speed until you hit the throttle again or touch the brakes, much like regular automobile cruise control works. So she really likes that feature. That feature does not work on the Ultron, even though supposedly it has it according to the P settings, but it does not work. Because believe me, I would have used it during that commute. But the Dualtron is really nice. I just think it's really, really expensive. We got basically the entry level dual motor Dualtron, and it was $2,200 plus. And Jason has models on his site that are $4,000 plus. So it's just that I think the money gets a little crazy for them. But they are way cool, very cool. Although I wouldn't say that they're. Again, I think that they are tailored for people that are very focused on speed and distance. I wouldn't say a scooter can compete with a one-wheel electric skateboard or an EUC as far as fun to ride. But that's just my opinion. Gadget House, the V10F had too many problems. Oh, so you have a V10. Okay, yeah, the V10F did have a shitload of problems when it launched. I think those problems are better now. I think they've addressed them. because I think the V10F had 1,000 watt battery. I don't remember what the V10 has. I thought it was like maybe about half that. Barl Sharkley's here. Hey man, how you doing? If the Z10 comes from eWheels, the battery should be fine. Well, eWheels isn't selling Z10s anymore, so I doubt that it'll come from eWheels. There are videos on YouTube showing how to wake up the battery if it appears DOA. Yeah. See, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Like, how do you know? Because, you know, they've also had problems with system boards being dead. So how do you know that it's not powering up because the system board is dead or a battery problem? And I guess the logical conclusion there is, you know, it's a battery problem if you take it apart and you follow that procedure that you mentioned to manually revive the batteries and it still doesn't turn on. Then I guess your system board's bad. But I'm sure everything will be fine. No worries. Gadget House just started riding the KS18L. What do you mean you just started riding it? You have one of those as well, or you just have a friend that has an 18L? eWheels pulled the Z10 off their website because they had about a 10% failure rate out of the box, and for whatever reason, Ninebot basically has ignored Jason's requests for warranty service. They won't send him warranty parts. They don't reimburse him for warranty work. And to support his customers, my understanding is he basically has had to cannibalize working Z10s to get customers' Z10s back up and running. So it literally was costing him. He's losing money selling Z10s. I'm sure. So that's why. And I haven't heard anything has changed in that situation yet. So that it kind of sucks. And Gadget House also, I mentioned, or I saw that Ian still had the Z10 on his site, but they weren't available. And I think he posted something that they weren't going to be available until May, maybe, again. I don't know. Maybe they paused production to fix some of the issues, hopefully. I don't know. Brett says, one-wheeler Jimmy Chang is getting an EUC. I might have had influence. Is that Jimmy Jam? Is Jimmy Chang Jimmy Jam? Because he always comments on all my one-wheel videos that I don't do enough extreme things. So I always do fake extreme things to excite him. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's seen some of my videos too, because I know he's been on my channel. If that's Jimmy Jam, I don't know if it is. Maybe it's not. All right. Oh my God, it's almost 10 o'clock. All right, I want to go through my notes here quick. I do still have a few other things on here, believe it or not. All right, I'm not going to show this video, but we'll just talk about it. Robert Ace, we've been talking a bunch about the Z10s. Robert Ace has been posting stuff. He did that I think it's a Russian firmware hack, basically, that unlocks a 56 kilometer an hour top speed on the Z10. He had performed that on his wheel and posted some videos about it. So it does seem like that is a legitimate thing. Is that something that I see in the forums that they're charging for that to download that, or you can get it for free? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, personally, if that was me, I don't know that I would want to do that. I kind of trust engineers to put speed limits in place for a reason. So I don't know that I would, if I had a Z10, that I would want to do that fix. But in the video that I saw, he did actually hit the 56 kilometer an hour speed. He got it all the way up there. So it is possible if your risk tolerance is high, you can unlock your Z10 for higher speed. Oh, where is that? Okay. Bear with me a second. I saw that Jason had something posted on his site. Yeah, okay, there it is. He had something posted on his site about the widths of 3 popular EUCs right now. I thought it was kind of interesting, because everyone, when you think about width, you think about the Z10 because of the monster tire. But let me see if I can get this up here. He posted this chart that posts the actual wheel width as far as the case. you know, as your legs. Okay. I'm having all kinds of problems here steering. Okay. All right, you can see it. Good enough. Anyway, so the actual practical width from a rider's perspective of how far apart are your legs when you're on the wheel. And as you can see, the 18XL is the thinnest profile with 6.2 inches across. The Z10 is over an inch wider, 7.3 inches, with that monster 3-inch tire. But then the Gotway MSX is actually almost an inch wider than that, which surprised the hell out of me. I never realized, I mean, I knew that the M Super case was bulky. I did not realize it was that bulky, that it is actually significantly wider than the Z10 from a rider's perspective. So I don't know if anyone else saw this or thought that was interesting, but I did. I think it was interesting, and I did not expect it. So for comfort, I at least for me, the 18XL, I prefer something thinner. I just feel like I can control it better. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else saw that out there. I think I saw it on the forums. I think Jason posted that on the forums, and that's where I saw it. Pretty cool. And let's remove you. Okay, there we go. Very good. Hunka, any new projects on the 3D printing side? Get any new printers? You came in a little late, Hunka. I did talk about. Actually, still have it sitting here, but you can't really see it because of it's white and the light. If I get close enough, you can sort of see it. This is the base of what was going to be a huge castle, and unfortunately, I made a boo-boo when I was changing filament, and I messed up the print. This was after 2 days. This was 2 days, and the whole print was supposed to take about 4 days. So I've started it again, but now I have half of a massive print. But I've been doing a lot of the bigger ones lately, like the big ornate castles and stuff. I just think they're cool, and Cindy likes painting them. You know, you can make them look really cool. Again, I was mentioning earlier that I might want to look at printing some props for like superhero props. People all the time print weapons from like Marvel movies, like Thor's hammer, swords, helmets. There's so much stuff you can do. So yeah, I continue to do that stuff. I've been doing it mostly on my CR10S Pro, which is my newest printer, which I really like. It's been doing a good job. My NEQ Huron, which is my biggest printer, is dead again. It seems like there's another cabling problem with the cable set that goes to the hot end. I have yet to get that addressed. I started a list of video ideas of things that I want to get around to shooting. It's about seven items long, I think, at this point, and several of them are 3D printing based videos that I just have not had the time to sit down and do. But yeah, I will be doing that. I'll be talking about various things, including that. Hunka asked, did I ever figure out what was happening to the chickens? You mean the ones that died? Well, we had two that died relatively close together from, it seemed like a similar disease. We're not sure exactly what disease it was. Since that time, we also bought, yeah, you haven't been on the stream for a little while, Hunka. We bought 6 baby chicks that we raised. Getting there. That we raised inside for like 3, well, they were inside for what, 2 months, and then we moved them outside in the tractor for 2 months. Yeah, they were inside for a couple months, and then they lived outside in a separate chicken tractor for a couple months, and now since then they now have been integrated with our other chickens, so we have a total of 11 chickens again. The original 5 definitely are still in charge. You know, they let the young chickens know who's the boss, but they're all getting along pretty well, and they're cute. You know, Cindy and I really enjoy the process. So yeah, knock on wood, they're all doing good right now. So Gadget House Jimmy Chang is why I got the damn one wheel. Yeah, Jimmy Chang has to be Jimmy Jam, I assume. Got to be. Ditto on software manipulation. Hunka asked, do you feel there is less need to wear safety gear when riding scooters versus skateboards versus EUCs? I would say it depends. It depends on where you're riding and the kind of riding that you're doing. You know, if you're going for a casual ride on a scooter in a unpopulated area, I think there's less likelihood of you going down on a scooter. It has two wheels, obviously. But personally, for me, I gear up, especially after that fall I had on the skateboard. I pretty much have full gear on all the time. So, again, it's about your risk tolerance. What's that?
Oh, kick your butt.
Well, you don't wear that much gear usually.
No, I don't ride like you.
Oh, okay.
I ride gear on the scooter. And
Some.
I ride gear.
Yeah.
I'm half dead over
Okay. Okay. All right. So now, I'm going through my notes again quickly here. I posted on the website, or I'm not on the website, actually in the community page on YouTube for my channel, a poll that said, what do you think would be the next cool thing to bring to the channel? And I thought it was interesting. My choices on there were the Raptor heads-up display glasses, which I talked about on the last stream, which are basically like smart goggles, more or less, except they're sunglasses that are primarily targeted towards bikers. And they have a heads-up display integrated into them. They have it's Bluetooth capable. You can actually like take phone calls on it, listen to music, and you can show all kinds of different real-time stats, speed, distance, some bike-specific things as well. And they look really cool, although they are expensive. I think they're like $600, expensive stuff. And I also mentioned the Leaf Tech skateboard. You know, that skateboard that rides like a snowboard, where you have conventional skateboard trucks, but then underneath you have two 360 degree pivoting drive wheels. And the way you ride that thing it's very, very snowboard-like, more so than a one wheel. So I've been looking at that. That was one choice. Skydio R1 drone, that's the drone that Ian has that is basically autonomous following, where it has all sorts of intelligence built into it, where it has cameras all 360 degrees basically to do obstacle avoidance. Ian has a number of videos where he's riding through the forest and he has a Skydio R1 drone, and you can see it just move around trees, move around branches. It's pretty amazing. But it's, again, very, very expensive. And the other two choices were new EUC or other. The clear winner was a new EUC, and I'm not surprised, because I think the majority of the people that are PEV owners that are on my channel are EUC guys. Second place was the Raptor heads-up glasses, and then 16%. I'm not sure what other is, other than Clay did mention kiteboarding. Clay desperately wants me to try kiteboarding, and I desperately do not want to try it. Yeah, I'm sure. And then the Leaf Tech skateboard came in at 5%, and the Skydio drone came in at 3%. So not real high. So, but just in relation to that, I am going to be. I'm not getting a new EUC, but I sort of am, and that's not going to make sense really until you see what I mean. But there is going to be some EUC related content, some new EUC related content coming to the channel, probably within a couple weeks. Well, maybe longer. I shouldn't say that, but there should be something going on. All right. Wow, I got through my notes. Good. Whew. Yeah. It's amazing that these streams can go this long. Brett says, Cindy, you're like a cowgirl on the Ranger skateboard, off-roading and all.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, no, she does. Yeah, she's definitely more daring on the Ranger than I am. And if you saw the video from last week when we were at the Greenway, and she rode it on that one mulch trail, she did really, really good. Better than I would, for sure. She did really well.
Yeah, like riding a bull.
Riding a bull, yeah. I guess, I don't know. But it did surprisingly well. Yeah, those tires, they're ridiculously heavy, but they do a good job handling. More ads. They do a good job handling the terrain. It was crazy, like some of the routes and stuff that she was going over. The combination of the big tires and the board has a nice amount of flex. It allows you to handle that kind of terrain. And she did a great job, and she's done really well just riding in grass too. And she's more willing to go off road in that thing than I am.
No, it's not as comfortable. I don't feel safe on concrete on that
Yeah.
as much.
Randy Wentworth. I don't know if Randy, if I've seen you in the stream before or not. Maybe, I don't remember. Where in the U.S. would you like to take a wheeling vacation?
California.
Well, I would just say out west, actually, because like when we did our last Western road trip, we weren't into any of this stuff. I had the drone with, but we didn't do any wheeling.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have wheels. Cindy and I have done a number of road trips and a number of Western road trips. I think out west would be awesome. We did do 2 years ago. We took our EUCs on a northeastern road trip during the summer, which was miserable. The traffic was just horrible. I mean, we had fun riding, and we rode in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. We rode in Boston. We rode in Maine. We rode in was it South Carolina the first night? I don't remember.
Yeah.
South Carolina. Yeah, we rode all over the place. The actual riding was fun, but it was just the traffic was miserable. It was no fun. I think it would be. There's so many beautiful open areas out west that would be fun to ride. That would probably be my preference. So next time we do a Western road trip, we will definitely have PEVs in the car or in the truck or whatever it is. Hunka hunka, it would be fun to see you guys do a cross-country RV road trip. Yes, it would be. Although with my experience with the drone, like Hunka, you saw what happened to me with the drone. When we did the Western road trip and I got busted for unknowingly flying in Yellowstone National Park. It would. I wouldn't be surprised if we would run into again a lot of restrictions. Like we found out when we went to Maine, we rode in a place called Cadillac Mountain, and part of Cadillac Mountain is they have these carriage trails, which we saw ahead of time, which are basically bike trails. They're like crushed gravel, mostly bike trails. And we're like, oh man, that's the perfect spot to ride EUCs. And we did. We rode for a little bit.
I didn't like it.
Well, yeah, Cindy didn't like it that much, but we rode for a little bit. But then I come to find later, my friend who lives in Maine said, oh yeah, by the way, technically you're not allowed to ride any sort of electric vehicle or motorized vehicle, even an e-bike, on those carriage trails. So I'd be worried that that you'd be running into these unknown restrictions depending on where you would ride.
I'm going to take my shower.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to be shutting it down soon. My eyes are burning. Gadget House. Got the Ninebot go-kart kit coming tomorrow. Had no use for my Segway Mini Pro. Kids, I'm like, okay, wow. So hence the name Gadget House, huh? You do have a lot of gadgets. Again, I saw the go-kart kit. It did not appeal to me whatsoever. If I was a kid, it probably would. We still do have our Mini Pros. Cindy really likes her Mini Pro. I don't really ever ride them anymore unless I have to for some reason. But Mini Pro is a great option for someone that wants to get into PEVs because it is very easy to learn. Last week when I was at the Greenway, there was somebody that actually, moreformini.com sells a kit where you can put a conventional handlebar control on a Mini Pro. And he was a real big fan of that because I think one of the negatives with the Mini Pro is with the knee bar control. If you hit say you're riding along like this and you hit a surface that is tilted like that, if you are not prepared for it and don't compensate for that lean, it's real easy for your knees to bump the bar and then unexpectedly send you in a direction you were not intended to go, which usually will wind up when you flying off. So that's really the only big negative with the Mini Pro, other than obviously it's not that fast. But it's very easy to learn. Most people can confidently maneuver the thing after like 15 minutes. So, and that was our first vehicle. We both had Mini Pros, and stupidly I thought once we had the Mini Pro, the next thing I got was a Ninebot 1E Plus, and I thought, okay, well if I ride a Mini Pro, how much harder can it be to learn to ride an EUC? And the answer is much harder. Yeah, it was much harder for me. It took about 3 weeks and lots of falling and bumps and bruises until I got the basics. Hunka Hunka says, go visit Marty in California. Yeah, if Cindy and I actually mentioned that, like, we've done a bunch of Western road trips, but we've never gone all the way to California. Farthest west I've gone is Idaho on a road trip. I've been in California, but never on a road trip. So yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be awesome if we could do that. I don't know, maybe. It has to be planned well in advance. Have to have a lot of days off consecutively, and have to find some way to take care of the homestead and the chickens, which is usually my biggest concern. Take care of the chickens. Find a responsible person to take care of the chickens for that amount of time. So, but maybe, yeah. My sister lives in Texas, so they've been bugging me for a long time to stop and visit. So yeah, we need to do it. I'm thinking that we'll try to do a road trip this year, but we'll see. Since Cindy's daughter is pregnant and she's due in May, that could throw a wrench into our plans. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, okay, guys, we are at 2 hours and 10 minutes of time. Like I said, I'm getting a little tired, and I think we're going to be shutting it down. I appreciate everyone that stopped in. I don't know that any LA Beast Raiders are still here, but I appreciate you guys stopping in. I appreciate the super chat donations. My God, guys, like I said, that's never happened to me before, and I got 3 or 4 super chat donations tonight. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. And again, I hope to see you guys again. Now, the next live stream would normally be March 24th. I'm not sure that I'm going to do it then or not. We might be doing something for Cindy and my 6-year anniversary then. So I'll talk to her about it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing that or not. If I'm going to push it off another week, I will post on the forums and mention it in my videos that it could be delayed a week. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, anyways, thanks a lot for stopping by, guys. Don't forget, if you missed some of the podcast, you can always watch it back on YouTube, or you can also download the. If you missed some of the live stream, you can always download the podcast version if you want to hear the whole thing. Available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or you can just use the RSS feed and just manually put that into your podcast player as well. So that's all I have for you for now. I will talk to you again soon. And until next time, Duffman out.